Alright guys, we got a double header today. Since one battle was too short to actually do on its own, I decided to combine it with another battle and give you two battles for the price of one. So anyway, let's get started. I started with my Tauros, they started with Honchkrow. Now this is my special Tauros that I debuted quite some time back. I don't think I ever narrated a battle with it, but as you can see, I'm not running it with support because it's my lead. They start off with a heat wave, and that's not going to do anything because it misses, which wouldn't have mattered anyway because Tauros would have survived. I go for the blizzard. That Honchkrow isn't wearing a focus sash, so blizzard is going to take it out in one shot. So that's pretty much it for Honchkrow. That is one Pokemon already out of the way. Special Tauros is a beast, you cannot mess with it. So the next Pokemon that they're going to send out is an Alakazam. Now Alakazam I do fear big time because Alakazams are very famous for carrying Focus Blast. And even though Focus Blast is inaccurate, there is still no way I'm taking any chances of Tauros getting killed by that thing because Tauros is too awesome to die to an Alakazam. So I'm going to go into my Cresselia, which is pretty much retired now, as I told you before. There's still a few battles I did with it that have to upload. Once those are uploaded, this Cresselia is going into the Pokemon Ranch. But enough about that. He hits me with Focus Blast, and that does absolutely nothing to Cresselia because Cresselia has beastly defenses and cannot be touched by almost any Pokemon in the game. I'm gonna go for a Charge Beam to start boosting up my special attack, and he's gonna go for a Psychic. Now I don't know if that was a misclick or if he's not running Shadow Ball or anything that could actually harm Cresselia at that. But as you can see, Psychic does nothing either. I'm gonna hit him with a Charge Beam. Charge Beam is supposed to be weak. And Alakazam also has some very good special defense, so I didn't really expect Charge Beam to do much, but then again I just use it to power up. So I'm going to go for another Charge Beam, and he's going to go for the Calm Mind. Now, even with Calm Minds, Cresselia is going to powerhouse through him. And considering the fact Alakazam couldn't do anything from Cresselia to start, well, I'm already messing up on my words, and I just started. But anyway, Charge Beam does a decent amount of damage again, and I get the special attack raise again. Now, my opponent realizes that he most likely can't touch Cresselia, and once Cresselia is set up, he's just going to powerhouse through whatever's left on his team, so he decides to give up right away. So that was the first battle, and why don't we jump right into the second one. Now, this is a rather old team. This team I ran before I even thought of Special Tauros. Many of you remember it from PBR Live. It's my Physical Blissey team. Now, I only call it my Physical Blissey team because the main Pokemon I use on this team are Scizor, Blissey, and I believe Raikou, sometimes Pelipper, because Scizor is used to set up, and once its baton passes over to Blissey, Blissey's job is to sweep the team the best it can. If you haven't seen the Physical Blissey sweep, I will most likely post a link to it, so you can check that out. It's pretty decent compared to the Pokemon that I had to face with Blissey. A lot of people rather enjoyed it when I did it on PBR Live, and I'm also working on some other Pokemon that we haven't seen sweep yet. Love Disc is one of them, which I'm still working on because I haven't found the right combination of Pokemon for it. But anyway, enough of that, let's get on with the battle. They start with Honchkrow, I start with Raikou. It's deja vu, only difference is I have Raikou instead of Tauros, because Tauros wasn't even thought of yet. Now, I'm gonna just go for the easy Thunderbolt, considering the fact that he has nothing on his team that can really resist it. It'll hit everything neutrally except for most likely Blossom if he brought that. But Blossom still will take a decent amount of damage from it. He ends up switching though, which is pretty predictable considering the fact Honchkrow can't really take a Thunderbolt, especially from a Raikou. And he ends up going out into a Registeel. Now, most Registeels are built in special defense, so it's going to be able to take my Thunderbolt like it's nothing. So Raikou fires off the Thunderbolt. As you can see, it only does about I want to say that's a 1/6 of damage, and that's going to be reduced to about an 1/8 after the leftovers. So At first I wanted to switch because I was fearing Earthquake, but I just thought forget about it, leave Raikou in, and if Earthquake doesn't kill, I'll at least get 2 Aura Spheres in. With Expert Belt, it'll do a decent amount of damage, even if that thing is trained in special defense. So I Aura Sphere it, and Aura Sphere does a good amount. I want to say that was a good 1/5 of damage, so it'll be about a 3-hit knockout. He goes for Toxic and he ends up missing, so chances are he's not carrying the Earthquake. So now he's gonna go for the Toxic again. I'm just gonna continue to Aura Sphere. If he Toxics Raikou, it's not a big deal. Raikou can withstand Toxic since it's not really a staller, it's more of an attacker. I Aura Sphere again. He's going to survive with about a 1/16 of life. He's going to go for the Toxic again, and it misses again, which is bad luck for him. So I'm going to be able to get out of there unscathed. Raikou is not going to be poisoned. None of my Pokemon are. And I'm just going to Thunderbolt to finish off the Registeel, since there's no point in firing off another Aura Sphere. That would just be a waste. So, anytime now when you're ready. I just hate how long you have to wait, but I don't like to edit out because it cuts off a lot. So I hit it with Thunderbolt. That's of course going to take out the Registeel. There was no way I was going to be able to take that. And the Registeel goes down. I don't even have a Registeel anymore. I gotta make another one. So anyway, the last Pokemon he has is Blossom. Now, none of my attacks are going to be hurting Blossom. Thunderbolt won't do it. Aura Sphere won't do it. Hidden Power is Grass, so that's definitely not going to do it. And I have Weather Ball, which would only be good if he set up the Sunny Day, because then it would be a Fire type. I kept Weather Ball just for weather conditions. Some people like to run Rock types in Rain Dance as well as Sunny Dayers. But I don't really understand running Rock types in Rain Dance. That's not too smart. But anyway, I switch out into Kingdra, and he's going to go for a Stun Spore. Now, Kingdra is a special wall. It has no investment in attack whatsoever. Now, I wanted to Dragon Dance at first, but because of the Stun Spore, there would really be no point. So I just decided to lock myself into the Outrage early, which was not too smart of an idea, especially since there's no attack investment in this Kingdra, and you'll see just why in just about a second here. Now, I made a special wall Kingdra mainly for the Draco Meteor Pokemon. This Kingdra can take a Draco Meteor from weak Pokemon like Gabites, and once in a while it'll take a Garchomps, depending on how it's raised. But anyway, I hit with Outrage. He went for Moonlight. As you can see, Outrage did not do enough to stop Moonlight from recovering Blossom completely. So basically, I locked myself in an Outrage for nothing, and he's just going to be able to recover off damage every time I use Outrage. Luckily, it was only 2 turns, so I could switch my Kingdra out of there, because there's really no point in having Kingdra in there right now, especially with the confusion and the Parahacks, because I'd just be screwing myself over. Now, it's not like I didn't have anything that could stop the Blossom, but I didn't want to lose Kingdra because I was being greedy and wanted the total victory. So I switch into Kingler, and he's going to go for another Moonlight, he or she, whatever. So they're at full health now. My Kingler is fast enough to outspeed that Blossom, so I'm going to be able to get an X-Scissor off without worrying about the agility. I do have a Focus Sash on it, so if he decides to attack with Energy Ball or something, I will survive no matter what. So Kingler hits with an X-Scissor. Unfortunately, it's not going to knock it out. It's going to just survive with about an 1/8 of its life. He's going to go for a Sleep Powder, which missed, and pretty much sucks for him because Sleep Powder could have been their only chance of actually escaping defeat. So they know they can't win at this point, so they just decide to give up here. So that's the 2 battles for you today, guys, and I will see you next time.
And match. The red corner has decided to give up.